In the quiet town of Eldridge Hollow, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, life moved at a leisurely pace. The townsfolk knew each other by name, and the rhythm of their days was dictated by the changing seasons. But one summer, everything changed. It began with a series of strange occurrences in the fields just outside of town. At first, they were dismissed as mere curiosities, odd patterns etched into the crops that baffled farmers and intrigued the local children. But as the days turned into weeks, the phenomenon became impossible to ignore. The first crop circle appeared overnight in the wheat field owned by Old Man Jenkins. He woke up one morning to find a perfect circle nearly 30 feet in diameter carved into the golden stalks. The edges were impossibly sharp, and the wheat within the circle was flattened in a manner that seemed deliberate, as if an unseen hand had pressed it down with care. Jenkins, a man of science and reason, was perplexed. He had spent his life studying the land, but this was beyond any natural explanation he could conjure. Word spread quickly throughout Eldridge Hollow. The townspeople gathered at the local diner, their conversations buzzing with excitement and speculation. Some believed it to be a prank, perhaps the work of bored teenagers looking for a thrill. Others whispered of extraterrestrial visitors, beings from another world landing in their midst to communicate a message. The latter notion was fueled by the town's long-standing fascination with the cosmos. Eldridge Hollow had always been a place where the stars seemed closer, where the night sky was a canvas painted with constellations and dreams of what lay beyond. As the days passed, more crop circles appeared, each one more intricate than the last. They varied in size and design, some resembling geometric patterns, while others mimicked the spirals of galaxies. The shapes were mesmerizing, their symmetry defying the randomness of nature. Farmers who once dismissed the first circle now stood in awe, their fields transformed into canvases of mystery. The media caught wind of the story, and soon reporters from across the country descended upon the small town, cameras in hand, eager to capture the phenomenon that had captivated the nation. Among the visitors was Dr. Helen Carter, an astrophysicist with a penchant for the unexplained. She arrived with a team of researchers, equipped with tools to analyze the soil and study the electromagnetic fields surrounding the circles. Helen had dedicated her life to the study of the universe, but she had never encountered anything like this. As she walked through the fields, her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Could these formations truly be signs of alien activity? Or were they simply a manifestation of human creativity gone awry? The townspeople were divided in their beliefs. Some embraced the idea that they were witnessing a cosmic event, a communication from beings far beyond their understanding. They began to hold nightly vigils in the fields, gazing up at the stars, hoping for a glimpse of something extraordinary. Others remained skeptical, attributing the circles to the work of skilled pranksters or even elaborate hoaxes. Yet, as the circles continued to appear, even the most cynical among them couldn't shake the feeling that something profound was taking place. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Helen gathered the townsfolk for a presentation. She spoke passionately about her findings, her eyes gleaming with the thrill of discovery. The crowd listened intently, their skepticism waning as she detailed the scientific anomalies they had uncovered. She proposed a theory. What if these circles were a form of intelligence, a language of sorts, created by beings who wished to make contact? The room buzzed with excitement, and for the first time, the townspeople began to see the crop circles not merely as strange occurrences, but as potential signs of something greater. Helen's team worked tirelessly, collecting samples and conducting experiments. They discovered that the soil within the circles had unique properties, higher levels of certain minerals, and a distinct alteration in the molecular structure of the plants. The findings were puzzling, and Helen couldn't help but wonder if they were witnessing a form of communication. Perhaps the crop circles were a message, a way for extraterrestrial beings to reach out to humanity, to share knowledge or warn of impending danger. As the weeks turned into months, the phenomenon continued to escalate. The circles became more complex, and the media frenzy intensified. The town was thrust into the spotlight, and tourists flocked to Eldridge Hollow, eager to witness the mystery for themselves. Local businesses flourished, and the once quiet town transformed into a hub of activity. But with the influx of visitors came a sense of unease. Some residents felt their home had been invaded, their peaceful existence disrupted by the chaos of fame. Amidst the excitement, Helen forged a bond with a young boy named Tommy, whose curiosity about the stars mirrored her own. Tommy was captivated by the crop circles, spending hours in the fields sketching their designs and dreaming of alien worlds. One evening, as they sat together beneath the vast expanse of the night sky, he asked Helen a question that struck her to the core. "Do you think they want to hurt us?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Helen paused, considering the weight of his words. "I don't think so, Tommy. I believe they want to communicate. They want us to understand that we are not alone in this universe." But even as she spoke, a nagging doubt crept into her mind. What if the message was one of warning? What if the circles were a sign of something darker lurking beyond the stars? The tension in Eldridge Hollow grew palpable as the crop circles continued to appear. The town became a battleground of beliefs, with some insisting on the existence of extraterrestrial life, while others clung to skepticism. The divide deepened, and soon the peaceful community found itself fractured. Arguments erupted over the validity of the circles, and the once united townsfolk began to turn on each other. Then, one fateful night, everything changed. A massive thunderstorm rolled through the area, unleashing torrential rain and fierce winds. The townspeople huddled in their homes, listening to the howling winds and the crack of thunder. When morning came, they emerged to find that the storm had wreaked havoc on the fields. The crop circles had been destroyed, their intricate designs washed away in the deluge. The loss was devastating. For many, the crop circles had become a symbol of hope, a connection to something greater than themselves. Without them, the town felt hollow, as if the very essence of Eldridge Hollow had been swept away. Helen felt a profound sense of loss as well. She had come to believe that the circles were a bridge between humanity and the cosmos, and now that bridge lay in ruins. But as the days passed, a new circle emerged, more magnificent than any that had come before. It appeared overnight, a sprawling design that seemed to shimmer in the morning light. The townspeople gathered in awe, their hearts racing at the sight. This new formation was unlike anything they had ever seen, a breathtaking spiral that seemed to pulse with energy. Helen's heart soared with hope. Perhaps this was a sign, a reaffirmation that they were indeed being watched over, that the universe was reaching out to them once more. As she studied the new formation, Helen felt a surge of inspiration. She organized a gathering in the fields, inviting everyone to come together and celebrate the mystery that had brought them all together. The townsfolk, once divided, now united in their wonder and curiosity. They shared stories, laughter, and dreams beneath the vast expanse of the night sky. In that moment, the crop circles transcended their origins. They became a symbol of connection, not just to the cosmos, but to each other. In the weeks that followed, the crop circles continued to appear, each one more elaborate than the last. The town embraced the phenomenon, transforming their identity into one of exploration and wonder. Helen found herself at the center of this transformation, leading discussions about the possibilities of life beyond Earth and the importance of unity in the face of the unknown. As she stood in the fields, surrounded by the laughter of children and the warmth of community, Helen realized that the true significance of the crop circles lay not in their origins, but in the way they had brought people together. They had sparked curiosity, ignited imaginations, and fostered a sense of belonging that transcended the mundane. The possibility of alien life became a catalyst for change, a reminder that the universe was vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Eldridge Hollow had transformed from a quiet town into a beacon of hope and exploration. The crop circles, once a source of division, had become a symbol of unity, a reminder that humanity was not alone in its quest for understanding. And as the stars twinkled above, Helen knew that their journey had just begun. The universe was calling, and they were ready to listen.